different scriptures of the world will tell you that God is never far away, that He's always with you, right? So what does this mean? It means something very interesting. In fact, it means that peace is always very, very close. It's not far away. True peace can be achieved in 1 to 3 seconds. And this is something that is good to remember this truth, that peace is only 1 to 3 seconds away. It's never far away. So how do we access that peace that is always so close? Well, we simply follow a pointer. We don't need to make a long meditation. No. You follow a simple pointer. There are so many in Advaita, right? Like, for example, resting as awareness. It's a good pointer. And you follow the pointer intuitively and you are there. And peace comes back to you. Another option you have is there is no one here. And when you follow the pointer, there is no one here, peace comes back to you. Now, when you follow a pointer, you are moving the attention from mind to consciousness. So you are coming out of the mind and into consciousness. Out of the mind and resting as consciousness. It's the same everywhere, right? When you enter into a particular space, you're coming out from another space. Same thing. If you enter into your living room, probably you're coming out perhaps from your bedroom. So this movement of in attention is coming out of the mind and into no mind. Another pointer. No mind. And again, why this is so important? It is very important because when we are under stress or something is disturbing the mind-body organism, we tend to think that you have to do some very difficult somersaults to get back to peace. And it's actually not true. So if you remember this, you begin to remember it. Oh, it's just 1 to 3 seconds away. Then you know that the solution is at the tip of your fingers. Always. I'm sure that if you have practiced the pointers from Advaita, you also may have at this moment the following fair question. Well, but sometimes, I do the process, but I can't enter. I can't get out of the mind. Or another would be, oh yes, I move from mind to consciousness for a moment and then boom, I'm back. And then I try again and back. into the mind. So that is the case. It happens to everyone. And then when that is happening, and it means something. What does it mean? It means that the mind is too agitated for whatever reason. It means that the mind is dealing with some kind of obsessive mental object that is pulling you back or not letting you go in. That's what it means. A big deal? Yeah, it can be. But at the same time, when that is happening, we need to understand that perhaps insisting to go back to consciousness will not work. What works in those cases is to introspect and understand, get insight into what is bothering the mind. What is creating this obsessive thinking or strong negative feelings? What is happening? Once you have clarity, or some clarity, once you identify the particular mental object that is creating the problem, like a negative emotion, for example, oh, there is fear in the mind-body organism. Well, if that is the case, you surrender the fear with the surrendering technique. In other words, what you're looking for at that moment is healing. Healing the mind-body system so that it cannot grab you and pull you back to the mind. And that's why often I say that this spiritual path, and especially the embodiment process, is like a chariot that is being pulled by two horses. One horse is presence, going back to consciousness, using the Advaita pointers, and the other one is healing. Two horses pulling the chariot of your spiritual life. Before awakening and after awakening is kind of similar. Although after awakening this becomes more real, more obvious that it's about these two things. Before awakening, there are certain things that we need to work through that are more basic. Among others, we need to see through the eye. With awakening, you have already seen through the eye, so now the problem is different. It's simpler. That's why it's so valuable to see through the eye. That's why it's so valuable to wake up. And if you want to wake up, if you're serious about it, consider the awakening protocol. I will put some information at the end of the video. It can save you a ton of time and suffering. So, summarizing, very simple. Peace is always 1 to 3 seconds away from you. If you have lost your peace, it's never far away. The divine is never far away. It's always here, right? It's your true nature, no less. It's what you are. In most traditions, they will tell you you need to get reunited with the divine. Advaita doesn't have that concept because it's producing a distance between you and the divine, which is not real. It serves for, let's say, educational purposes, so that the seeker in the beginning tries to become reunited, becoming one again with the divine. Because it's too difficult in the beginning to understand that actually the I is not there, therefore they are the divine. But Advaita doesn't waste time in this sense. Advaita is the direct path, or the direct no path, because there is no space, as Nisargadatta says, there is no space to put a path between you and the divine. There is no space. Not enough space, because the divine is your true nature, your true self. And the little self, the fake self, is fake, is not real, is mind stuff, imagination. So actually, the pointer, there is no one here, is the truth and is the goal of Advaita. And to live in that reality is the goal of the embodiment process, so that you don't go back to this sense of self, that you not only imagine that there is a self here, but you also feel that there is a self here. There is a certain feeling that accompanies this density of a fake self. Because it's dense. Dense in mental matter. Not in reality. Reality is not dense. It's empty. Empty in the sense that is spaciousness, openness, and peace.